Mason Greenwood wants imminent United return, reported by The Sun. It's a tabloid or an outlet that does news in UK that is so close to Mason Greenwood's staff. Remember, they're the ones responsible for breaking a story that his charges were dropped, and everything after, it's them that are really close to this scenario of Mason Greenwood, and I think they're really having credible sources as far as Greenwood's plans are really concerned. But they've told us that this time around he wants an imminent return to the training ground of Carrington that belongs to Manchester United. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? Today, a player that once played in La Liga, now playing in the champions in the Premier League, you know him very well, Casemiro, has gone ahead and told us the difference between Premier League and La Liga and which league is better according to his response. And he has gone ahead to throw in light on why he's at Manchester United and why he wants to win lots of things at Old Trafford. And lastly, Diego Dalots has not yet gotten the game of Barcelona off his head, because he's still happy and jubilated as he gears up for the finale against Newcastle at Wembley. That is on Sunday, that is tomorrow. So Rock and David is my name. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and smash the like button close to 100 times to see to it that our video goes viral. Now, Mason Greenwood is really a story that many mainstream journalists are trying really to really elbow, but here on United Matters channel will give equal coverage to every player that is part of Manchester United. Greenwood is one of those players that is still a player for Manchester United. You go to their website, he's there, and they registered him in the Premier League squad of this season. That is Mason Greenwood for you. And today, a story has been brought to us by a tabloid or a news outlet known as The Sun, telling us that Mason Greenwood wants to return to Manchester United first team squad as soon as possible. However, some players have told senior club officials they would be deeply concerned if Greenwood returned. Now, I think this sends two thoughts in my mind. One, Greenwood is pushing for this because he knows that he wants to get this resolved as soon as possible. He wants the resolution to be gotten as soon as possible for him to plan for next season. Because if United come out and really tell him that, please, you are not going to be a player at Old Trafford or a player of Manchester United anymore, that means he would tell them, all right, you terminate my contract, get me my money. Then he plans for his future in the summer on where he's going to be playing his football next. That's it. That's it. Now, the other thought is that Greenwood might be wanting to return and not wanting for that resolution, because that's also possible. Reason being, he loves Manchester United. He wants to be with Manchester United, though a story was put out again by The Sun that Greenwood is not happy with how United treated him in the situation or in the period when he was still allegedly accused. That's it. But is Greenwood eligible to make that request? I think he is, because all the cases on him were dropped. All the cases on him were dropped, and he is nowhere near a charge. That's it. And that's what you should know, that nothing is up to really come in and really cost his career anymore, because every person that is going to judge him will judge him according to the videos and the audios that his wife let out. But in the lawsuit, he's a clean man. He's a clean man. That's it. Mason Greenwood is a very, very clean man. And Ten Hag talking to him is another reason as to why I'm taking this story serious, that he wants to return, because his conversation with Eric Ten Hag is a signal that this guy is ready for everything. He's ready for everything to come to happening, and he's really ready to take on everybody at the club to see to it that really fights for his position. And I like that aggressiveness. It shows me that his mentality is still at the level of playing for Manchester United, because according to what he has gone through, close to a year without playing football, I think if at all he was a person whose mentality was really low, he wouldn't have been making and he wouldn't have been making a request of an imminent return to the training or the first training of Manchester United, first team training session of Manchester United, because he has a lot of belief in himself. He knows that I can turn things around. Then it's time for me to start training with Erik ten Hag at Old Trafford. And secondly, in addition to that, you might find out that this situation has gone ahead to really make him a more mature man. To me, I believe he has turned into a more mature person than he has ever been, because he now knows what the world is all about, and every person deserves a second chance. And me saying every human deserves a second chance doesn't mean him that is guilty. But in the public court, there is a section of people outside there who are really trying to really attack Greenwood, according to what really was released. But to my understanding, I have the following in my mind, that Greenwood is a player of Manchester United, and the situation that happened has just made him a strong person, and looks like they're even going to welcome a baby together with Harriet Robinson, the girl that really brought all this saga. And again, the Sun has gone ahead to report to us that Mason Greenwood is due to become a first-time father, having recently learned that his partner is pregnant. His family are aware, and the couple are looking forward to the summer arrival, meaning that in the summer, Greenwood is going to welcome his first baby with his girlfriend, Harriet Robinson. I know Greenwood and the girlfriend are yet back, because they've loved themselves for so long. Since when they are at school, they've loved themselves for a very, very long time. And these things happen in love, you get? But Greenwood, to become a dad, is another signal that he's really a grown-up man. That's it. And I think it was not planned, because if it was planned, then I don't see it being really realistic. That means after Greenwood having problems with a girlfriend in January of 2022, that's it, Greenwood settled his stuff with a girlfriend, because if it's in the summer, that means Greenwood and the girlfriend found out the pregnancy around September and October, November, around there. And you know why? To be exact, that was when Greenwood violated his bail by really meeting this girl. And then he was rearrested again and then released, and told him that don't violate the bail. So I think it's good to see either this man is really welcoming a bouncing baby. We don't know of which sex this baby is going to be, but it's all good to see that the Greenwoods are really going to welcome a new baby that all of us are really waiting for to welcome happily, with welcoming hands here onto the United Matters channel. But he's really trying to make an imminent call of a return to Carrington to train with the first team of Manchester United. Though there are players that don't want him to return, and I know those players, they have their reasons, but it's like they're trying to be a court. If Greenwood was not acquitted of these charges, then they would have had a sounding reason. But right now, you don't have a sounding reason as a player of Manchester United, other than standing in what the decision of the club is going to be. That's it. So, as it stands, I believe it's going to be a decision of the team and the manager, Erik ten Hag. If ten Hag comes out and says, I want Greenwood back at Old Trafford and Carrington, he's going to return. If ten Hag says no to his return, he won't return, because he'll tell them, I'm not interested in having that player here. That's it. I'm not interested in having that player here. Sell him and obviously get more money and get us another player, or terminate his contract and let him be as a free agent. terminate it at mutual consent like you did with Ronaldo, then he calls it quits. So I believe it's really so much reliant onto the partners and brands that really relate with Manchester United and the manager Erik ten Hag. I think the players say is really minimal into this, because if the club decide that they want him back, I think no player can stand into the club's decision. After all, no club is bigger than the club of Manchester United. No player is bigger than the club of Manchester United, and they'll eventually show that person an exit door without further ado. Now, leaving that at that, Greenwood, let's go to Casemiro. One, to me, is the most important player at Manchester United. That's it. And after the game of Barcelona, I was going ahead to talk to Man United TV and say the following. I want to win titles here. It's not easy. We know that, especially because we are talking about the toughest championship in the world, and is declaring the Premier League as the toughest championship in the world. He says, I want to be known here as a player who wins championships. That's the most important thing. We know it's hard to win titles, especially in the Premier League, where every game is tough. Now, I like the mentality of Casemiro, because he knows that United standards that were set by Sir Alex Ferguson were all about winning the title. Winning titles is what made us support Manchester United. I know most of you are supporting it because we were the big team close to 2 decades back. That's it. From 1992 to 2013, United was winning trophies, Champions Leagues, UEFA Europa, Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cups, Community Shields. We were a winning and competing side. But ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left, we've been more of a participating side than a competing side. The likes of Man City have come in through and really won Premier League trophies without being touched by the United, who were really looking a team always in a falling position. That's it. So he's hinting about that he's here to win, and he wants to be remembered as a person who is really winning trophies for Manchester United. For him, it's a special case. Reason being, he's going to go down the books of history if at all we start winning trophies, especially from Sunday, that is tomorrow. He'll be known as that missing piece in, or he'll be remembered about as that missing piece in the jigs of Manchester United that we called out for close to 5 years to be brought in, and it took Erik ten Hag to bring in a player like Casemiro. That's it. And he is the one responsible for us getting this team back to where it is. He's the glue to this team, and obviously has binded us, and especially in the engine room, because games of football are won and lost in the midfield. And if at all you happen to be triumphant, then he's going to be the main man behind us winning game in, game out, and will be deserving the kudos from we the fans of Manchester United. Then he went ahead to really throw this that very many people maybe in La Liga won't like, but this guy has gone ahead, Casemiro, to really tell us the truth, because he has played in La Liga and not far away a lot of time ever since he left. If I told it was Rafael Varane, we would have said, all right, he has spent 2 seasons out playing in La Liga. What does he know about it? But for Casemiro, he was there just last season, and this season is playing in the Premier League. And to be exact, this season again, he played like 2 games for Real Madrid, and then he was brought up to Manchester United by Erik ten Hag. Casemiro has went ahead and really ended the argument between the La Liga and the Premier League by telling us that I'm not trying to underestimate La Liga, but the games here are much more difficult. There are more transitions. In Spain, they usually prefer tiki-taka, as they say there. Here, there are more transitions, more attacking moves, meaning that different managers apply different styles at the Premier League. That's it. To be a winner in the Champions League, you must be a manager who is having very many tactics, attacking dimensions. You need to really threaten your enemy in all corners, because a team like Bournemouth will come in and really shock you, however much it's really fighting for its relegation. And these shocks are really seen in the La Liga. But in the Premier League, we are really a more dynamic side. Premier League is a more dynamic league than the La Liga is one dimension. Tiki-taka is the way to go. And that's why you've seen that very many managers that have been coaching elite teams from the La Liga have crossed from La Liga to join the Premier League. One, Lopetegui coached Real Madrid. He has been a coach at Sevilla. He's now coaching Wolverhampton Wanderers, a team that is fighting for its life to stay into the Premier League. Look at Unai Emery. He was coaching Villarreal, you get? And he's now coaching Aston Villa. Remember, Villarreal were Champions League semi-finalists last year. I think they knocked out Bayern Munich at the quarterfinals, and they went ahead to play the semi-finals. And I think it was it Liverpool that knocked them out? I think it was Liverpool that really knocked them out. So it shows you the huge difference between the La Liga and the Premier League. And I repeat it, La Liga comes second after the Premier League. The Premier League is the best football league in the world. I don't know what your thoughts are about that, but I believe the Premier League is the best league in the world. Now, Dalo looks like he's not over about the game of Barcelona. I had something to say about that game of football that happened at Old Trafford. Him as a player, according to the Old Trafford atmosphere versus Barcelona, I said, yeah, it is special. We felt that after the equalizer, the fans gave an extra push to us, and I think the Barcelona players felt it as well. A little bit of pressure, and we were on the front foot. That's it. So he's trying to extend his gratitude or express his gratitude to the fans of Manchester United that they did a very tremendous job to help them stay onto that game and shock a team known as Barcelona. And the atmosphere was really rocking. It was really cheerful, and it kept the players going, hence putting this game to bed with that Anthony winner in the 76th minute. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. Tell me your thoughts about Greenwood wanting imminent United return. What are your thoughts about Casemiro talking that he wants to be, or insinuating that he wants to be remembered at Manchester United as a person who really won championships, and his valuation of the Premier League and La Liga, do you think is right? Because we are all entitled to our own opinions. And lastly, tell me your thoughts about Diego Dalo saying that it's the fans that really kept them going after that equalizer coming in from Freddie. Old Trafford turned into something else, and Barcelona couldn't handle the pressure that was exerted onto them by the fans and the 11 players that acted as the Ten Hag army that brought us victory to see that we are through to the round of 16 and we are facing Real Betis. So that's it for now. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's where you're supposed to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. Smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Let's have close to 100 likes on this video. Rokan David is my name, and may the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. I'll sign out for now.